There are times in our yoga practice that we focus on very specific aspects of our body. In this practice, it's a slow and gentle flow class where we'll focus on a full body practice and move the spine 7 different ways. Come to the top of your mat. Stand tall. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take your hands wider apart. Spread your fingers as a way to engage and tone the arm muscles. Now exhale, take your hands alongside your ankles. Step your right leg back with your hands right above your left knee. Just balance yourself as you just pulse. You can lift up and down to get just a little fluidity in the pelvic area. Inhale, take your arms up. Again, take the hands wider apart with spread fingers. Open the chest. Exhale, take your right hand down. Keep your left arm lifted. Twist. Draw your left arm over your head. Release your left hand down. Step your back foot forward. Place both hands to your low back and rise up. Inhale, reach up, reach slightly back. Exhale, take your hands alongside your ankles. Step your left leg back. Balance, take your hands right above your knee. Just pulse a little bit to open up on this side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Take the hands wider apart, look up, reach back and gaze back. Release your left hand down, twist, turn your heart toward your right inner knee, reach your right arm over your head, release your right hand down to the mat, step your back foot forward, place both hands to your low back, hug your elbows in, rise up, reach up. Reach slightly back. Exhale, take your hands to the earth. Step back to all fours position or a plank position. Move your shoulders slightly forward and lower yourself to the mat. Once on the mat, come to a fingertip top position. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Have a nice ease to the breath. Inhale, you rise up. Exhale, lower down. You keep your palms lifted to engage the arms more fully by pressing the fingertips. Draw your elbows in. Release down. Come to tabletop position. With your toes tucked under, lift up to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, reach your right leg, lift your right leg high and bend your right knee to get a nice stretch to the right thigh. Lift your left armpit so it doesn't slump toward the earth. Keep a nice fullness. Release your right foot down. Lift your left leg up. Bend your left knee. Once again, just see if you can open up all the way from the pelvis to the knee. Get a nice length there. Release your left foot down. Walk your hands back to your feet. Place your hands right above your knees. With your hands above your knees, straighten your arms. Draw your heart forward, lift your chin. Exhale, look in toward your heart. Inhale and exhale. This nice easy movement of the spine, drawing from the navel back. Inhale, your heart reaches forward, your gaze lifts. Exhale, you draw from the navel back and you look inward toward the heart. Inhale and exhale. Place your hands back to the mat with the knees bent. Walk your hands forward to come to downward facing dog again. In downward facing dog, now walk your feet to your hands. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Reach up. Reach way back. Exhale, take your hands to the earth. With your knees bent, step back, plank or tabletop position. Roll to the right side, and with either your right knee down or your right foot down, just reach your left arm up, reach your left arm over your head, and release your hand down. We'll stretch the right side now. Come back through downward facing dog. To the left side, stack your feet or just stay on your knees if you wish to stretch through the right side so you have a nice steadiness in the pose. Reach your right arm over your head. Release your right hand to the mat. Come back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees. Take your hands right above your knees. Straighten your arms. Now free your arms. Reach your arms up. Drop your pelvis down. See maybe if you can drop a little bit lower and look at your knees. Can you take your knees back slightly in space with the gaze right between your hands? Now free the hands to the mat. Walk to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, lift your heels high. Draw your heels toward the right to continue that stretch of the left side ribs. Lift your heels up. Draw your heels to the left to stretch through the right side ribs. Come back to the center position. Look forward and step forward all the way to your hands. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Just pause in Tadasana. Just get a nice ease to your breath, a nice softness to your facial muscles. And as you're ready, you can step wide on your mat. In a wide stance. In a wide stance, turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee. Inhale, lift your arms up. Keep your back leg strong. Just drop a little bit lower in the front leg. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Press the knuckles to the low back. Hug your elbows in toward each other with fullness in your heart. Just bow toward the right leg. Now free your interlaced fingers and see about reaching them back or up. Release your hands down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Lift your heels. Just move the heels to the right. Lift up. Move to the left. Lift them up. Look forward. Step your left foot forward. Park your back heel down. Lift yourself up to Virabhadrasana number 2 again. Keeping the back leg strong. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your knuckles nicely. Hug your elbows in. Draw your heart toward your left inner knee as you bow forward with grace. Place your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot forward. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Reach up to the sky and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands to the earth. Step your left foot back. Park your left heel. Lift your arms up and let's come to the same pose, Virabhadrasana 2. This time getting more length to the side body by reaching your left hand toward your back leg. Take your right hand up and over your chest. And just cartwheel your arms so that you come down to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step your left foot forward, park your back heel down, lift yourself up again into Warrior 2 pose. Keep your back leg strong. As you take a little bit more weight to the back leg, reach your right hand back, your left arm up and over. Cartwheel your arms again. Take them down to the mat. Step your back foot forward. Place both hands to the low back. Rise up. Release your hands. Either stay on the mat or you can step off the mat in order to create a nice steady foundation. Keeping your left foot stable. Lift your right leg up. Reach your arms up. Now reach your right foot back. So we'll do some hip extension and hip flexion as you lift your arms up and you reach your hands back as you reach your right foot back. Again, lift up, reach back. Keep your toes active on the lifted foot. Spread your toes. One more. Lift up. Reach back. Release your right foot. Pause on 2 feet. Bend your knees with your hands right above your knees. Can you balance now on 10 toe tips? Lift your heels up. You balance nicely, just keeping both legs really active. Lift your arms up, drop your pelvis down. Get this nice fullness in the pose as the legs stay very active. Now press your heels down, stay in the pose. Root down to rise up to come out of the pose. Release your hands down. Now lift your left foot up. With the left knee bent, nice hip flexion, reach your arms up. Exhale, reach back. I'm trying not to dip really far down, trying to keep the spine elongated and lifted. Again, lift your arms up, lift your knee up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back. One more, lift up. Reach back. Release your foot down. Now let's come to a straight leg lunge. Step your right foot forward, your left foot back. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Open your chest nicely. Exhale, keeping this front leg straight, draw forward. Now see if you can keep the spine elongated. Try not to drop into it. Just keep a nice length from the pelvis to the crown of the head. Maybe you can take your interlaced fingers up slightly. Place your hands back to your low back and rise up. Step your back foot forward, step the right foot back. Root down through the back foot. Interlace your fingers behind your back and open your chest. Look up, keeping the back heel rooted. Allow your heart to just softly move forward. And with the steadiness of the back leg, maybe you can go a little bit deeper into the forward fold. Inhale, with the hands to the low back. You can rise up. Step the back foot forward. Take a wide stance again. Turn your right toes out. Lift your arms up. Exhale, come to triangle pose. With just a little preparation of the back side of the leg, we can come a little bit deeper in our triangle pose if we go a little wider in the stance. So look at the stance, see if you can create a little bit more length there. So maybe your hand can come to the floor or to the block. You feel that steadiness. Reach your left arm over your head. Get this nice length in the pose. Place your hands down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Step your left foot right between your hands. Have your back heel parked nicely. Lift yourself up to triangle pose. Engage more fully by pulling the feet isometrically in toward one another, and take your left hand down. Look at the mat. Maybe you can just refine your stance even more. Maybe go deeper in the pose. Reach your arm over your head. Keep this nice elongation in the pose. Release your hand down. Bend your front knee to step your back foot forward. Place your hands to the low back and rise up. Let's come to a squat position. So as you stand, to come to a squat position, maybe you want to turn your toes out just slightly and go a little wider for some of us. And draw yourself all the way down. And just pause here for a moment. And as you do, your knees are squeezing in toward your upper arms, your pelvis is lower. You can just drop in very slowly. And slowly bring your pelvis a little bit closer and arrive on the mat for some seated poses. Draw your right foot toward your left cheek. Take your left foot to the outer right knee. In Ardha Matsyendrasana, we want to keep the lifted leg very active. It may want to fall, but see if you can keep it pulling in. With your fingertips, you can come more forward on your sits bones to get really tall. From here, reach your right arm up, bend your right elbow, and open your chest nicely. See if you can lean just a little bit into the left sit bone. Now lean back into the right sit bone. Now can you balance that action out so it feels like you're giving equal weight to both sits bones? Can you straighten your right arm with the back of the hand reaching toward the ankle or toward the foot? Maybe even grab hold of your leg, or just keep the hand free. Now slowly release out of the pose and trade sides so that the left foot is close to the right cheek. The right foot is to the outside of the knee. Your legs are active. By hugging the inner knee in, you get this nice fullness. By using the hands to come forward on your sits bones, get length by reaching up toward the sky. Take your elbow down to the outer knee. With your right hand as a bit of a kickstand, see if you can keep the spine elongated as you hug the right inner knee toward your left ribs. Can you come to a fuller pose, maybe reaching the left hand to open the chest a little bit more, maybe even holding on to the foot or the shin. And slowly release yourself out of the pose. Come to sit with your feet forward, with your knees bent, with your hands back, with your elbows slightly bent. Press through the base of your index finger, the base of the finger, and hug the elbows in so you're not dumping so much weight into your wrists. Claw the mat with your fingertips so that you engage the hands nicely. Inhale, lift your pelvis up. Exhale, and take the pelvis down. Straighten your legs. Lift tall in dandasana. As you press your fingertips, can you get even taller? From here, reach your arms up. Now twist. Take your right hand behind you. Take your left hand to the outer right shin. Stay tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand to the outer leg. Left hand behind you to stay tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take your hands behind you again with the fingers spread, with the knees bent and the feet planted. Lift your chest, bend your elbows, hug the elbows in, lift your pelvis up. Exhale, take your pelvis down, reach your feet out to come to dandasana again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Your right hand serves to get more length in the spine. Nice axial elongation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Same thing with the left hand. You move the pelvis slightly, pelvic point slightly forward to get a nice lumbar curve. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, one more time with the hands behind you. Bend your knees, plant your feet, bend your elbows, hug your elbows in. Again, as you plant the base of the fingers there, lift your pelvis up and exhale, release your pelvis down. Place your hands right at the belly of your hamstrings. With your feet firmly planted, hug the heels toward the pelvis, isometric action that allows you to move the spine forward, and exhale, almost like you're trying to create a C shape here, the letter C as you draw back. Inhale, hug the heels in, lift up. Exhale, come towards straight arms and draw back. One more, lift up. Exhale, draw back, and draw back so much that you lower yourself down to the mat. Once you're on the mat with the knees bent, draw your right knee in. Take hold of your right foot. So lift your right foot up with the knee bent. Hold on to the baby toe side of the foot and draw the knee down toward the mat. Reach your left leg out if that's accessible to you, if you feel balanced. If you feel unbalanced, then park the left foot back to the mat with the knee bent. Reach. Now release your right foot, bend both knees again with the feet planted. Draw your left knee in, lots of hip flexion there. Reach your foot up toward the sky. Hold on to the baby toe side of the foot. Draw the knee down to the outer left ribs. If it feels available to you, just reach the right leg out. Try to keep the top of the thigh moving down. Bend your right knee and plant your left foot and your right foot with your elbows bent, with your elbows pressing fully, with your heart lifted. Inhale to lift the pelvis high. Exhale, take your pelvis down, just slightly down, not all the way down. That'll give you a little bit more freedom to take your right leg up toward the sky. Spread your toes. And with the power of the left foot, press down to lift up. Exhale, draw the pelvis slightly down, but not to the earth. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slightly down. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower it all the way to the earth. Bend your right knee, plant your foot. With the elbows planted nicely, lift your pelvis again. Get nice fullness in the chest. And as you're ready, you can just soften and let the pelvis draw down toward the earth. Take your left leg up toward the sky with the foot flexed, with the toes drawing toward your face. Reach your heel high and exhale, come down. Inhale, lift your foot. Exhale, down. Keep your leg as straight as possible as you lift up. One more time. Exhale, bend the knee, plant the foot, and take your pelvis down to the earth. Release your arms and stretch your legs out. And as if the feet are windshield wipers, just let them draw side to side as a way to relax your legs. Now come to a place of stillness. Close your eyes. Soften your facial muscles. Attune to your breath. You breathe in deep and out long. A full breath in. A long breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just breathe free and natural. Stay in the ease of Savasana. Enjoy this time of assimilating the actions and the movements in the slow and gentle flow of the movements of the spine.
Namaste.